There are so many World War II shooters out there, and they usually have their hype and then they drop down in popularity, as most of them are just the same thing over and over again. Enlisted is a game that tried something new in this segment and has now been out for a year and a half. So let's talk about how Enlisted is doing and if it's worth playing for you. I am Domnaut and I'm here to guide you to see if Enlisted is something for you. Enlisted is developed by Darkflow software and published by Gaijin Entertainment, that is also known for War Thunder. It is a realistic World War II combined warfare game that has infantry, vehicles, tanks and planes that can be used by the player. The game does well in making you feel part of intense historical battles with charging soldiers, tanks shelling and planes bombing. But why would you play Enlisted if you already invested in the cookie cutter shooters like Call of Duty or Battlefield, both which release new games yearly? Let's talk about some of the major differences compared to these games. Firstly, gameplay is very different from a regular AAA game. Soldiers will not be tanking bullets and fully heal over and over and over again. The kill time is fast on infantry and the gunplay feels quite good in my opinion. The game does reward positioning and tactics and not just about run and gun and get your crosshair on everyone and firing. This aspect will scare away a lot of players that are used to the AAA gameplay where you can heal up and tank bullets better than EL2. No pun intended towards the EL2 in Enlisted that can tank better than most tanks. Enlisted is also free to play, making its money from in-game microtransactions. These don't interfere with gameplay too much. Sure, there are some premium squads that are very strong, but it's nothing that will actually win the game for you. I feel microtransaction in a free-to-play game is to be expected, as they has to gain their income from somewhere. This is of course something that some players have a very hard time to accept, and if you're one of them, then you might have a problem with Enlisted. A big plus for Enlisted is that it is cross-platform, giving players on PC, Xbox and PlayStation the opportunity of playing together. Why is Enlisted gameplay so unique? AAA games are arena shooters in which super soldiers fly and run around the map doing 360 no-scopes and tanking headshots, just to heal up and redo it all again. Enlisted is a realistic squad-based tactical FPS with no regenerating health, extremely low time to kill, faction-specific weaponry and combined arms warfare. You build up your squad and select your equipment and specific perks when leveling your squad up, giving you a wide range of options to build a squad around your type of gameplay. Focus is on the team and either attacking or defending different objectives. Important aspects are, for example, good positioning on the map, engineers building respawn points, radio operators using artillery strikes, and all this backed up by tanks and planes. It only takes a couple of bullets to kill someone, and weapons act more like they do in real life, with slow reloads and so forth. In contrast to modern shooters where you can run around with full kit geared and super speed, Enlisted actually makes you feel you're carrying a heavy load as a soldier. And while some say this makes the game slower and boring, I think it gives a good immersive feeling based on realism. And even though this game is primarily about infantry, you can still drive vehicles or fly planes, making the game more appealing to more type of players. This adds an additional layer of depth to the gameplay and makes the battle more unique depending on what type of players happens to be in your game. A lot of these game maps are inspired by famous World War II battles, giving you that extra feeling of being in the real World War II battles. In most shooters you're a lone warrior, but in Enlisted you have a squad that you command. These squad mates are AI, and you start out controlling the leader. You can switch around to different squad members whenever you want to, or automatically if the one you are controlling dies. You can command your AI teammates with some limited commands, and there is a range they need to be from you to stay at their ordered position. If you go outside this range, they will break their order and come running to you. Best part is that each member of your squad can have a specialization like engineer, assaulter, medic, rifleman, etc. There are a total of 12 specialist roles. Specialists have access to various weapon loadouts and skills that can be unlocked when leveling the squad up. As you gain experience over time, you can recruit more soldiers to your squad and adapting it even more after your needs, and provide them with different weapons to suit your needs. Challenges for Enlisted. Player numbers. As there currently are 6 different campaigns, the player base gets spread out on 12 different factions when playing. So if you play an unpopular faction, you might end up with a team mostly filled with bots versus an almost full human player team. This is dependent of course on what time you play the game and what game service you are playing on, as it does differ between, for example, North America and Eastern Europe. Bot players also limits your team, as they will not use respawn points built by players and has a nasty habit of getting one or two of their squad stuck, making them not respawn when the rest of the squad dies and one is still alive. This combined with their limited combat skills and bad pathing makes a very uneven game. AI squad members is another problem. The unique aspect Enlisted has for the whole World War II genre shooters are the squads. But sadly the AI is at a level that often makes Pac-Man ghosts seem like evil geniuses. The pathing is quite poor and the AI can get stuck in different positions or randomly stray out into the open and present themselves as easy targets for the enemy. You can of course make sure to order your AI to stay back and keep them safe when you go into danger alone. New versus old players. As a new player, you face the challenge of playing against experienced players that might have unlocked everything and upgraded all their weapons to the maximum level, giving them an advantage. Of course it's not fun when you bring out your starter tank and run into some high level tank destroyer, or when you're seaplane with just a tail gunner runs into a high level fighter plane. The good news though is that kill time is low, and if you get the headshot in, they will die no matter what. And also, you can always pick up weapons from other players and use their weapons that might be higher tier compared to what you are using. So let's get to the good parts of Enlisted. It's free to play, the game is free, so there's nothing to stopping you from giving it a try. Leveling up. There is a nice sense of reward when you unlock a new squad, get a new weapon and can get a new perk for your soldier. Overall I would say the community is good. And especially if you are polite to other people and so on, you will actually get people adding you as friends, and suddenly you have a group to play with, and that is when the game starts shining. When you have a team to play with, the victories will come way easier. Another very good aspect is that Darkflow puts up a lot of updates. Some bigger, some smaller. They add quite a few of these quality of life updates that you see quite often that might be small changes but will actually improve the gameplay a lot. And seeing the developer actually putting time and adding these updates constantly really makes you feel that they are working on the game and wanting it to improve and grow. So, Enlisted has its challenges, like all games does. But I would recommend people giving it a go. Maybe it will not be for you, as it is tough when you first are starting out. But try to find some people to play with and you will notice that with a group of players, most games are winnable. There are plenty of guides out there for the game to help you get started. Try the different campaigns, they do differ a lot. But remember that some of them are quite unbalanced, so it's important that you try a few of them to get the feel for the game and not judge it just on a game or two on a specific faction. Also, the AI is limited, and learn early how you could use them to fit your gameplay. Either it could be by hiding them in the back, or you can send them in first as meat shields. So if you want to experience something else where everyone is not a super soldier and can tank damage like Superman but want more realism, hey, go for it. I'll see you on the battleground. Thanks for watching.